guys? This is my DK Healer Build. Really like it. It's worked really well with 4-man dungeons with like Cyrodiil and I've been having a blast. So I'm gonna go through my skills first. Alright, so front bar, rest of the staff. Gear's not maxed out yet because he's not VR16. I've got the gear for when he hits VR16, but until then, I'm gonna work with what I've got. Stats. He's in at 28k magic. He's a dark elf. 1930 health, right under 10k stamina, 1300 recovery. That's not a lot, but you're a Dragonite, so there's easy ways to work around that with Battle Roar and heavy attacks and light attacks, stuff like that. I only have 1400 spell damage, but that's alright. I make that up with champion points, 42% spell crit. That's decent spell resist and physical resist. That gets higher with my sword and shield. I'm using the Atronach. I'm using the Atronach Mundus Stone. This character is a vampire at the moment. I've got a couple workarounds around that. It's not terrible. I use max health and magic. You don't need the extra recovery, so I mean this would be your preference. It'll make your heals bigger, give you more health, so because you're not healing anyone if you're dead. And then inner light. That's alright. So skills. Healing springs. This is your bread and butter heal. You spam it. It's so good. It's almost free with like everyone standing in it. It heals like a beast. You stack rapid regen on top of them. Adds another huge heal. This is a heal over time. Heals for almost 12k over 16 seconds. 2 nearby allies. It's super cheap, lasts a good amount of time, it's got great range. You want to keep that up at all times. Healing ward. Because it's a DK, you're not a Templar, you don't have that super bursty heal to save someone. This is that bursty heal. Like if you're, like I'll show you. If you're at full health, the ward is okay. But if I jump down here, look at the ward now. And then whenever the ward's done, poof, you're at full health. See, I'm doing this outside of Wayrest because I liked the view. Let me get my way over here, kill some Druids, drow, you know. Finish the video over here. Alright. So, rest of my first bar is Ignis Shield. This is 100% necessary for playing a DK healer. It gives a decent shield. For me, the shield's 7k. For you guys, it's 3600, which is still a great heal. But the main reason you use this is for the major mending, which increases the healing output by 30% for 7 seconds. That turns healing springs, if you stack them, into a breath of life. Inner light, I don't have that fully done, like maxed out yet, but it increases your crit and gives you up to 5% max magic once it's at rank 4. The ultimate I chose for this is Magma Shell, because I don't have Barrier on this tune yet. But Barrier would... I'm saying I might actually like this a bit more than Barrier. It's not ridiculously expensive because of all the light attacks and heavy attacks you're going to be doing with your restoration staff. It makes you super tanky. You can stand in all the red circles you want. And because of my points in Bastion, the shield is 120% of their max health instead of 100, which is great. So next bar, this bar doesn't, like, it can change. It's subject to change for sure. Because I'm a vampire, I have access to Elusive Mist, which is another super tanky. It allows me to stand in red circles if I don't want to waste stamina and dodge roll out of the way. Flame Lash is, I've been using this a lot because of the heal on it as well as the good damage. Harness Magica makes it for those boss battles where there are the red circles. You can stand in that and it'll regen some magic for you. It's one of my favorite spells, just overall. Structured Entropy is necessary. Increase your spell damage by 20% for 20 seconds. That's what you use this for. It'll increase your healing output, your damage, everything. It has a okay dot on it, an okay heal. That increases your health by 8%, which is great because if you're blocking, which is what, like your Elusive Mist, this is your damage reduction bar. This will put you at like 21k, I believe. Yeah, almost 21k. 30k max magic. This is phenomenal, guys. So, and then, you know, you've got Inner Light because you got to double bar it so it doesn't untoggle. And then the other ultimate I'm using for this is just strictly DPS, and it's got some self heal, but I don't really use it for that. It's great. Yeah, you can use other abilities while you're doing this, so you can pop that, stand in the middle of people, and continue to heal. You could also add Ferocious Leap on this. Ferocious Leap is more or less an oh shit button. It'll give you a huge shield. It does stack with all of your other shields. Some of the leeway spots in this, if you feel like you're not tanky enough or you're not a vampire or whatever, you could put Volatile Armor in place of Elusive Mist. It's great. If you don't need the single target damage, you could put Talons. Talons is super great. If your tank's not using it, I mean, 15% less damage, that's less damage you're having to heal, which is phenomenal. Draw Essence is another great skill. It does a pretty decent AoE. It restores magic back to you and heals you for a bit. So, yep. Take all of the passives on these. I'm not worrying about the health recovery on your Draconic Power Tree because I'm a vampire. My health recovery already sucks. I'm not worried about it. I've got other things to make up for that. So, I'm going to go ahead and put Elusive Mist back here. Champion points. I'm just going to skim over these real quick. I got 46 into Magician to give me that 10%. 51 into Arcanist because you want a little bit of recovery. Alright, for the Mage trees, 25 into Elfborn and 72 into Blessed. This is a great combo. My healing, I mean, you're a healer, you want your heals to be as big as possible, and then my crit is 40%, so 40% of the time I'm going to be doing almost 10% additional healing on top of those crits. The most important passive here is Spell Precision, that gives you another free 12%. Foresight, that's okay. I mean, that's not super important. You're not guzzling a whole lot of potions as a DK. I put some points into Elemental Defender just for the extra fire damage, because there's a lot of dungeons in this game that just bosses do heavy fire damage, shock damage fighting the Engine Guardian, Frost fighting the guy at the end of Spindle Clutch, and then 77 into Bastion to give me that extra 20%, because shields are probably a third of the things you're going to be casting. So, my champion points are nowhere near maxed out. I have almost 300. That's not great, but it's alright. 1400